Today I'm making a gansito cake. For my birthday last year, I made a cake inspired by another Mexican snack cake, a Napolitano. So this year, I decided I wanted a giant gansito. Gansitos are Mexican snack cakes with a layer of strawberry jelly and cream covered with chocolate and sprinkles. These were one of my favorite treats growing up visiting Mexico each year. You can turn on subtitles by pressing the CC button, and if you want to give this cake a try yourself, I'll be leaving all of the ingredients and their measurements in the description under the video. So, let's turn this into a cake. To get the shape down, I'm using a 9x5 loaf pan and spraying it all over with non-stick baking spray. I've ruined some cakes before by not properly greasing the pans, so I'm taking every precaution I can with a layer of spray, a sheet of parchment paper formed into the bottom of the pan and up the sides for easier removal, and a second layer of spray. I don't think I should have any trouble getting a cake out of here now. Let's set this aside and get started on our batter. I'm just using a boxed yellow cake mix for this. It's my birthday and I can be lazy if I want to. Besides, we still have to make whipped cream, strawberry filling, buttercream, and chocolate ganache. Let's save a little effort here. So I'm just following the box instructions for this cake. Add the mix, water, vegetable oil, and eggs into the mixer, and mix for 2 minutes until smooth. Now to the prepared loaf pan, I'm just going to try and evenly distribute the batter. Then drop the pan on the table a few times to release any air bubbles. Into the oven this goes now at 350 for about 48 minutes. Just keep an eye on it and pull it out to cool once the toothpick comes out clean. After about an hour of cooling, it's still a little warm, but cool enough to handle. So I'm going to gently pull it out of the pan using those parchment paper handles I left in there. Then, using a wire cake cutter, I'm going to level off what will soon be the bottom of the cake. Just decide where the wire needs to be and saw back and forth till you make your way through the cake. We lost a little bit of height, but the filling will help bring that back. As for the piece we cut off, you can save it and make cake pops, or just snack on it while you work. True gansitos only have filling on top, but I really want to taste all those flavors. So I'm going to flip the cake loaf over and slice it into 2 even layers, so I can fill in between the layers as well as on top. Set your cake layers aside, and even if they're still warm, they should be cool enough by the time we're done making our fillings. First up, I'm going to make some quick whipped cream. Forget trying to say that 3 times, I'm having trouble trying to say that once. Quick whipped cream. There we go. This is super easy. I'm just adding some heavy cream into my mixer, followed by a few tablespoons of powdered sugar, and beating with a whisk attachment, maybe 3 minutes on high. This might be a little thicker than you'd normally want in whipped cream, but I want this to stay sturdy and not just leak out of the cake. Now for the strawberry filling, I'm just going to microwave a jar of seedless strawberry jam a few seconds at a time, stirring with a spoon until warm and liquid. I took my eyes off mine for a bit and it overflowed, so I lost a little jam. It might be best to just scoop it all into a bowl for this microwave step. I also don't think I heated this enough. As you can see, it's still a little thick. And I think that affected the final result, so make sure to get yours warm and liquid before moving on. I've had issues in the past with my fillings oozing out of the sides of my cakes, so I started mixing gelatin into jam to form a really firm filling. So into the melted jam, I'm adding a packet of strawberry gelatin and mixing until completely dissolved. You may want to microwave this a bit if it's still a little grainy or lumpy. Next, let's make a small batch of buttercream. I've made buttercream before on my grilled cupcakes video, so I won't go into a ton of detail, but basically, we're just beating our butter until pale and creamy, slowly incorporating the sugar, adding vanilla and cream, and beating until light and fluffy. Now we're ready to start assembling our cake. Let's start off with a buttercream border. I'm using a piping bag to just pipe a decently thick border around the top of each layer. This will help prevent any cream or strawberry filling from leaking out. Next, let's go ahead and spoon in some of that strawberry filling. Though, if it's still pretty hot, I'd suggest putting both the cake and the filling in the fridge to chill for a bit before moving on, so you don't melt any of the buttercream. You just want to come about halfway up the buttercream with this. Now fill the remaining gap with the whipped cream. Actually, it'll be better to chill everything, maybe a half hour, just to give the buttercream and jam some time to firm up. This way, we won't disturb them trying to spread the whipped cream. After chilling, everything's firmed up nicely, and I'm just going to continue spreading the whipped cream over the jam and smoothing it flush with the buttercream. Now back into the fridge it goes for another half hour or longer. We're really close to finishing this up here now. We just need to make the chocolate ganache now. I kind of messed this part up a little bit, but everything turned out fine in the end. I'm adding 1/3 of a cup of heavy cream to my pot, and just heating it till it starts to steam a little bit. Next, I'm turning the heat off and adding in my chocolate chips. Now stir until the chocolate has melted and become smooth. If it starts getting grainy, don't worry, just add a little more cream. Now let's pull our cake out of the fridge and stack the layers on top of the loaf pan. This will make it easier to pour the ganache over the cake. I was trying to rush through this and I didn't let my ganache cool enough before pouring, so a little bit of my filling started melting into the chocolate. A little annoying, but we'll fix it. Back into the fridge it goes, and I let it chill maybe a half hour to firm up. I don't want anything else melting. I'm scooping up as much chocolate as I can and putting it back into the pot. Everything's clean anyway. Just melt it back down to get it smooth again, adding more cream if needed. I'm just doing a spot check to fill in any gaps where the chocolate didn't reach, like in between the layers. Don't worry about getting a perfectly smooth layer now. We're gonna pop this back in the fridge for another 30-ish minutes, then we're gonna smooth out all the sides with a warm spoon. I'm just dipping it into a bowl of warm water and wiping it off. Then, with the backside of the spoon, just smooth everything over. If anything starts to stick, just re-wet your spoon to warm it back up, and again, wipe it off. The top is a little more delicate since it's just got the cream and strawberry under there, so I'm just not gonna mess with it. We'll be covering it up anyway. Also, don't worry about messing up the glossy finish on the sides. Gancitos aren't really glossy, so this is actually helping us get a more realistic texture. Now that I've finished smoothing the sides, I'm gonna scoop up any remaining chocolate, pop the cake back in the fridge again, and melt the ganache one more time. I don't wanna get it super warm or thin, just smooth enough to work with. I'm gonna add it to a piping bag, and we're gonna make some giant ganache sprinkles with the rest of this. Onto a parchment paper lined baking sheet, I'm just gonna pipe some straight lines with the ganache. Mostly straight. Now put these in the fridge too and take another 30-minute or so break. Once the ganache has gotten fairly firm, I'm gonna pull it back out and cut it into sprinkle shapes. The chocolate is starting to stick a little, so I'm just making sure to wipe off any chocolate every few cuts. And finally, let's sprinkle our cake. Gancitos are pretty much completely covered with sprinkles on top. Peel off the ganache sprinkles and randomly place them all over the top face of the cake. And that's it. I'm going to present my cake on this cutting board, so I'm just carefully peeling the chocolate off the loaf pan and using a large spatula to scoop the cake off. Clean up the edges if you want, and you're done. This cake looks amazing, both inside and out, and I just can't wait to dig in. And there you have it, our giant gansito cake. It's crazy how much this actually looks like a gansito. The first time I made this cake, I just roughly chopped up some chocolate and sprinkled it on top. But these giant sprinkles really complete the look. It tastes just like a gansito. Even better actually. We've packed even more flavor and texture in here with that second layer of filling in the middle. The ganache is smooth and creamy, the cake is moist, the jam is a bright punch of flavor, and the whipped cream just helps round it all out. Give this cake a try, you won't be disappointed. If you do make your own, share a picture with me on Instagram. Tag me at Michael with 4H's. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you're new. I would love to have you around. And if you'd like to watch another one, you can click right up here. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you all next Thursday.